Andrew, how would you deal with a father that doesn't like you? Like, say you're with a girl and like he's just not with you.
Yeah. Yo, that was a very just that
No,
felt
I
really
really want to
personal.
know.
Yeah,
That felt super
that's
personal.
okay.
I'm serious.
You know, here's what I would say. I would say that, and this is my thing, bro, because she got a Russian father, bro. So he's Russian, you know what I'm saying? He's hella traditional. Dude's like 6 foot something. I'm short as fuck. So I know that at the end of the day, no matter what I do, I have to prove myself to this man. You know what I'm saying? No matter what I have to do, I have to prove myself to. I have to earn this man's respect. You know what I'm saying? Because I've essentially came in all territorial, invaded his village, and taken his daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta give up something in return. He has to see that the man that she's with is somebody that she chose correctly. You know what I'm saying? So I have to earn that respect from him. Whatever it takes, you gotta earn it. Don't be stand up for yourself. Obviously, talk up for yourself. I don't know how to speak Russian, but there are ways in which I understand my body language, in which I can communicate in a way that I will get some kind of respect. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, the way I treat you, the way I talk to you, how I'm with you, like all your father's gonna see these things and gonna be like, nah, like, she chose a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like if he doesn't, you know, then it's like that's on your dad. You know, like I could only do so much.
I honestly think we should start like teaching each other our languages, like some simple certain words.
Yeah.
I could tell you in Russian, you can tell me in Spanish, so maybe it'll
Da,
easy it up
da,
for us
Da.
to communicate with our families.
da. Privet.
All right. Okay. So I would.
Yeah, how do you impress the fathers?
Yeah, I would accept that.
I feel like you're good with dads.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I am. I've never had that scenario.
But
But
what about your relationship with your father?
me and my dad always got along.
Creating your
so
value.
well. But I would accept that everything in life is my fault because that's how I work as a person. I would accept that him disliking me is my fault. I would be a man about it, and I would ask him what he's unhappy about, and he might be fucking
Because
right.
you said, oh,
I'd sit there.
that it's on him if he doesn't like me.
No. I'm saying that I have to be able to do everything I can to earn this man's respect. And if at the end of the day, I've done everything I can and he just
Okay.
doesn't like me,
Okay,
like just because he does, and I've done everything I can. I've treated you right. I've spoken to him. I've, you know, maybe it's even about how you behave as a man, right? Like as soon as he gets up, I'm getting up. I'm going with him outside. You know, we're taking the trash out together. I'm studying him. I'm seeing how he is in his realm, in his dojo. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he needs help building something. You know, your dad's a builder. He builds saunas and different shit outside, right? Like, I'm immediately going to be on that. What do you need me to do? How can I help? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, that's great.
always going forward, always finding a way to put value in which he's going to just see that these things are respectable because these are things that he does,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, you got to earn that respect from another man. You can't just go in, oh, I deserve it. I'm entitled. You should like me because I'm with your daughter because your daughter chose me. No, it's fucking bullshit, bro. You gotta earn respect from a man. You don't just deserve it.
You go, what do you dislike about me?
So just confront the dad.
Not confront in a negative way. I'll just say, look, I'm here with your daughter. I really care about her. She's made it clear, or I get the impression that you're not particularly happy with me. Is there anything I can do? I just want to show you respect. You're a bit older than me. I want to show you enough respect to ask if there's anything about me that particularly upsets you.
It's a power move.
And think about it. This goes so back in time, right? Where it's like you have to ask the father to marry the woman,
Exactly.
right? You have to ask the father. Why? Why? Because he has to approve of you as a man, right? Same thing. If I had a daughter, I'd want my daughter to go by those same set of rules. I chose the right man. I respect that man. Hey, guess what? He treats you the same way as I treated you. You chose correctly, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And now he's proving himself to me. Absolutely, go with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like that's how it all cycles around. That's the most important thing about the
100%.
nuclear family.
And yeah, and like because he'll respect you more. Men respect men who stand up for themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
So the first thing he'll do is respect you more for even asking instead of hiding away from the dude.
If you say it in a respectful
But that's-
way.
You say it in a respectful way, and then he'll give you a bunch of answers, and then you have to be non-emotional and be professional. Listen to the answers. Don't get defensive, and sit there and go, you know what? 70% of them are probably
So what do you
fucking
think's
right.
better? What do you think's better? Like to be supportive or
Also, real quick, that this is exactly what you do in business too. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same exchange in business. Just take away the woman and put in a house of a business or whatever in place of it. This is how you make transactions with other men, right? You have to prove your value. You have to prove your worth, right? We were just watching Shark Tank. Is that not exactly what they do in the Shark Tank? They go in and they have to earn the respect, right? They don't just get it. Oh yeah, you know I have this product. I have an iPhone. I want $100,000 for 10% of the company. Here, boom. Like do it. But why? Like you have to be able to communicate that to somebody else. You have to communicate what you want, and you have to understand what they want in return, right? So at the end of the day, what does a father want for his daughter? He wants to know that his daughter is going to be taken care of and respected. It's so simple. It's not complicated.
Tough love.
In what scenario?
Your
no
your
context.
father with your son.
Why do you think? Sorry. Why do you think
That's
it's so
something I went
hard?
through, Brad.
Let's just shut the fuck up for a sec. Why do you think it's so hard for men to be able
Honestly,
to
I
be
don't know
vulnerable
this
with themselves?
podcast.
Like,
I've never seen these guys before, whatever. But this guy with a beard that is sitting on what, right?
Bradley Martin.
Left side.
Bradley Martin. Yeah.
It seems like he's the only one who's actually trying to get any value of this. Others one that's just there trying to make fun, being like, oh, what the fuck you ask and
around.
stuff like that. Yeah, they're just fucking around. They're not serious.
They're like trolling.
They don't bring any value. Like, I don't even like hearing them speak because they say some bullshit. And this guy's actually like, no, let's get to the point. Let's ask this question. Okay. It's great. Yeah, I think he a host?
He has his own podcast called Raw Talk.
Okay.
And now I think he's co-hosting in the Full Send podcast. So I mean, he's very good at expressing himself. He also had an interview with Sneeko that I reacted to. So I have a lot of respect for Bradley Martin. Shout out to Bradley Martin.
that's hard for a guy who's like, yo,
question?
men I guess we're taught to be so strong and so like powerful that we're not taught to be able to be vulnerable to say, like, to go listen to that criticism without being like, well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it's the internet, man. A lot of it's the internet. People have lost the whole fucking face-to-face thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 36, right? So I'm a slightly older generation. But back in my day, if you wanted a chick, you had to go up and say hello. There was no internet, nothing. Everything was in person. You want to do a business deal, it was in person. It was in person, it was in person. And I think a lot of men who, if their dad doesn't like them, would be too scared or too intimidated or too nervous or too egotistical or arrogant to just go and sit there and say, bro, she's your daughter. I'm telling you, there's not a dad on earth who I couldn't sit there and say, listen, I understand you've seen things on the internet about me. I understand the media said a bunch of things. I know she's your daughter. You've raised her your whole life. I can see how close you are. She really loves you. She talks about you in such a positive way. If we're going to be together a long time, I'm going to end up part of this family.
That must be so tough.
Would you like to talk about it?
Let's see what he said. Dude, who he just said. He said
Wait,
that must be so tough. The point
tough.
is, why
Is that tough? That's not tough, bro. I understand it might be like a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but if you feel nerve-wracking is because you know you haven't built yourself up to be that kind of man. You get what I'm saying? You know, like, you shouldn't be asking. So therefore, that's you telling yourself, maybe I'm not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're looking for answers. Hey, how should I come about it? But when you're certain, when you know who you are, when you understand, and you also know how to communicate with people, like, it's just a very simple thing. It's a very simple exchange. Like, you've proven yourself to her. Now you have to prove yourself to the father. That's it.
you think it's so hard for people?
But if
Bro,
you
shut
did,
the fuck up for a sec. Shut up, bro. For real. Why do you think it's so hard?
it's hard. It is hard, and it's hard because the internet has destroyed. It's made everyone socially awkward.
W guy in the
And
orange
also, I think that some of the basic tenets of how humans have been raised for a very long time have been destroyed. Like basic shit, like respect your elders, bro. Like, he's older than you, and that's his daughter, and he doesn't like you. He's allowed to not like you. That's his daughter, bro. He's older than you, and that's his daughter. You need to humble yourself. It's arrogance. We live in a world now where all these young kids on the internet and shit, they're all arrogant as fuck. And if I'm gonna humble myself, right, Mr. fucking $200 million, and I'm gonna humble myself to go sit there.
Is that what you got? Is that what you got?
Is that what he saw?
That's cap.
Snuck it in. But no, if I'm gonna humble myself, you have to know your position, right? No one's top dog all the time.
Never.
I'm maybe top dog in certain scenarios.
Who do you
but if I
think's
go
top
to-
dog to you?
Bro,
if I
let him answer the fucking question.
I may not be top dog.
Steiny needs air.
Yeah, dude.
I may be top dog in certain scenarios.
Breathe air.
Right?
Yeah.
In certain scenario, I'm top dog. But if I go skiing, I'm not top dog. I can't ski, right? So when it comes to a man raising a woman or raising a daughter for fucking 28 years or however old she is and dedicating his life to her, knowing he'd take a bullet for her, you can't be the top dog and go, I don't owe this man an explanation. You have to humble yourself and sit there and say, listen, he's upset. And I'm telling you, by even asking the question in a respectful way, you've already taken one step forward. You already have, regardless of what he says. Now, he may say a bunch of shit that you
work
can't.
towards becoming a better man, and if there is an older, more experienced man who sees some certain things that you're lacking in, and he's able to help you out and like give an advice and stuff like that, you should be fucking sitting there and listening, and probably take a paper and write it down too.
Exactly. And you know where's the biggest humbling life that how I've been humbled by this is in the dojo, right? Mm-hmm. When I started jiu-jitsu, when I started training mixed martial arts, guess what? There's always you're a white belt, but you have to train like a black belt, right? Even the black belts, they have to think like white belts. You get what I'm saying? Like you need to always want to learn, be eager to learn. Even as a black belt, you always want to think like a white belt because you always want to be eager to learn the new thing. Mm-hmm. You always want to adapt, right? So even though you're a black belt, you always have to humble yourself, right? And learn from others. You get what I'm saying? Even though you're the best person there. And as a white belt, you know nothing. You have to accept that you know nothing, and you have to accept that you suck. You have to accept that there are people better than you. So now you put yourself in a position where you're going to be uncomfortable. How are you going to improve? You have to sit there. You have to learn. You have to get humbled. You have to get fucking submitted, tapping out every fucking day for fucking 3 months without being able to tap anybody else out because you don't know how the game works. Then eventually you get that first tap. You've humbled yourself and you've learned something. You know what I'm saying? You've overcome something. You've completed the challenge. Like, that's where I truly learned to, like, be humble. I'm not gonna lie. And that's what he's saying right there, is that you need to understand that there are certain scenarios that you are not the best at. You can't walk around with a huge dick and just putting it everywhere on the table. That's completely arrogant. Like, nobody's gonna respect you for that. Mm-hmm. You just come off looking like the same entitled women, right?
He may be a piece of shit. He may be racist. He may be whatever. But it's good to at least hear the man out. And you may be surprised. I guarantee 95% of the time, he's just going to say something like, I don't think you're serious about her. You don't care about her. And you can probably fix it. Yeah. So if a dad wasn't
that's a power move.
If a dad wasn't that into me, I'd fix it. Everything in life is my fault. He has a perception of me. That perception is my fault. And I would address the perception and attempt to fix it. That's why I've never had parents, any woman I've been associated with ever, just like me. I've never had it.
Are we going to see a baby G soon or no?
Of course.
How far out? One on the way?
Listen, if I had...
Baby G? We need a baby G, bro.
If I had children, I wouldn't say on the internet because Farrell...
He already said he has 4 kids.
So
bro.
when did he say it?
He said it. We reacted to it. He said on the Aiden Ross live stream. He said he asked him how many kids he had. I literally made a whole thumbnail and I showed it to you and you still forgot.
Yes.
And then they brought it up the other day that behind closed doors, he does have it. He doesn't want to talk about it, yet he's the one who mentioned it on the Aiden Ross live stream. So I'm assuming this was pre-recorded a while ago. Before that. Mm.
Pastor aiming to destroy me. And when I have children, I will not say on the internet because Farrell's like a pastor aiming to destroy me.
So maybe you have some.
My children will grow in anonymity because I don't see the point in flashing them off on Instagram. And also, my children will not grow rich because they need to be poor. So all this lifestyle they're gonna get fucking none of. So
inheritance. What do you think about that?
I know that the best possible start you can have in life is to be from good parents and no money. So I'm gonna make sure that happens. I'm not gonna be having rich kids. I'm not gonna have spoiled kids. So so that's the answer.
What do you think? Good parents, no money. That's how you raise your sons. I think your son, more importantly than anything. Good parents, no money.
You can only be good parent if you have no money. This is what you're trying to say?
No, like the best scenario to raise a kid in is to have good parents and have no money.
I disagree.
Especially a boy.
That.
I think especially for a guy.
Okay, for a guy, yes, for sure.
Yeah. And for a girl, like I said, like I think I like a lot what Tristan Tate had to say, and he was like, spoil your girl. You know what I'm saying? Treat her right. Because that's what she's gonna look for in a man, and that's why when people say, "Oh, would you?" Here, chat. The 29 people that are watching, shout out to you guys. Yeah, every single one of y'all.
City boy.
I just love that button. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. There are 30 people here now. All right. Would you let your daughter date Andrew Tate? 1, if you would let your daughter date Andrew Tate. 2, if you wouldn't. All right. Answer that question down below, babe. If we had a daughter, would you let him date Andrew Tate?
No, because I don't want my daughter to be one of the wives.
You don't want your daughter, even though she's gonna be taken care of, even though she's gonna be put in a scenario with other kids.
The wife is one and only.
The wife is one and only.
Yes.
All right. So that's it. That's the only reason why no.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
All right.
Everything else. Oh, they all say one.
They're all saying one.
Okay, can you comment why? Because I want to know.
Why? Because
$300 million question.
That's a three.
That's the answer. You can fix the dad shit. You can always fix it.
No, you're the GOAT. I mean,
that dad shit is so interesting.
These guys are.
Salim probably hasn't. Salim's got some questions.
That shit. I mean, obviously with you, that's like a totally different story. But for me, like with videos, because I do videos with girls all the time. Yeah. It's always like, fuck, man.
Okay,
like,
but
coming into this guy's
house. You're a huge dad guy, though, no?
This
oh
guy
yeah, I'm great with dads
sloth.
too, bro. But it's
you said this guy reminds you of Sloth.
it's
get out on the golf course with them too.
Put yourself in his shoes, right?
I get it, yeah.
Like what? I would be an arrogant The biggest problem with the world today, and I get called arrogant all the time, but I actually don't like to think I am.
Does that bother you or no?
No, because it's not true. But I actually don't like to think I am. But the biggest problem with the world today is the absolute amount of brutal arrogance that people have inside of them. Everyone's so ridiculously arrogant.
I get what you're saying.
But how can you say that when people feel that way about you?
No, but me. Listen, what kind of person would I be to sit to a woman and go, how dare your dad not like me? Look at the shit they write about me on the internet. Well, how arrogant would I have to be to go, fuck that guy? That'd just be dumb. I'd be like, I completely get it. Let's go see your dad. Let me go talk to the dude.
Yeah, I think this thing comes down to like people are just not comfortable enough with being vulnerable.
Completely. And they're not comfortable with normal social human interaction.
I hate
But I mean,
meeting
that's
the dad.
Okay.
I kind of like it, man.
I don't like it.
It's kind of interesting.
You know why he hates meeting the dad? It's because of the way in which you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know you're not going to be respectful. You know you're not trying to earn it from him. That's why you hate it. Because you know he's going to meet you and he's not going to respect you because you're not trying to gain respect.
Yeah.
You're trying to prove that you're better than him. And therefore he's not going to treat you like somebody he wants around his daughter.
Yeah.
That's why you hate that. That's why you're scared of it.
You don't feel comfortable and that's it.
Okay. How do you think?
It's always nervous the first time.
How do you think someone
would you be
can?
the godfather to my son?
Yo, you're clipped right now, huh?
Yo,
Yeah, shut the fuck
mix
up
in a
for a
water,
second.
bro. Chug a sparkling
Would
water.
you or no?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Andrew,
We need to drop you off at IKEA, bro.
How do you think a young male can make himself allow himself to be more vulnerable?
Yeah.
Like, what are the steps he can take? Because I think that's the biggest problem. Because a lot of it is like being unwilling to confront something within themselves, or being like, in this sense, being able to confront the dad because he can't take that criticism, right?
Okay,
So how do you think a young man
conversation
can?
gets really like boring right now?
Really?
Like, they keep talking about that. We already figured out that how you should act with
All right,
that and
fine,
everything.
fine.
Like,
Move forward.